And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is going to be a quick update on KASPA. It's going to be a bit of a different update. The thing is that just yesterday, I actually did do an update for you guys, and I did not hit the publish button. I was just having such a terrible day yesterday. I sort of partially dislocated my knee. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed because my activity levels sort of go down, they plummet, and every time that happens, I get like really upset. So I'm just trying to reconcile with the fact that I can go to the gym at the very least for the next 1 week. But anywho, what we're gonna do instead is I'm going to essentially replay the video that I did for you yesterday, and then we'll take over from there to see how prices played out on KASPA and what can we really expect next in terms of targets to the upside, as well as can we even get to those targets, what to look for in order for us to then get to those targets. Cool beans. With that, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit play, and I'll just be right here at the corner of your screen. The next target that I spotted out on KASPA's chart comes in, let's get a drum roll, please, right here, 18 cents. That's right. For those of you who want to take note of this number, you can go ahead and take note of it. It comes in at around 0.188034. If, however, we manage to close the next 12-hour candle, which closes in another 5 hours, over 16 cents, I'm saying 18 cents is the next target. Okay, so we are essentially, I have rewinded price action and we're going to pick up where we last left off. I mean, you guys just watched the recap. We were last hovering at around slightly over 16 cents on the 12-hour time frame. And what I told you was this. I said, hey guys, if we start seeing consecutive 12-hour closes over 16 cents, only then will I look for our next target, which comes in at 0.188034 to the decimal. Right? And yeah, some people think I'm crazy for coming up with these targets, but no guys, these are not targets that I just pull out of thin air. I'm using my years and years of trading experience as well as my years and years of system building to help me. I actually built up a system that helps me come up with these targets, right? Even when there are assets like KASPA that's currently in price discovery. Right? There is no sort of next region of resistance to look out for to help us with our next targets. No. So what I do is I use price momentum. I've created a system for myself to help me with these targets. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and play price action to see how this all unfolded right here. All right, remember what we were looking for. We were looking for consecutive closes over 16 cents to then anticipate our next target at 0.188. So let's go ahead and hit play. All right, it played out to the T, guys. Our target at 0.188 has officially been hit. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about, well, what happens next on KASPA's chart. Is it done? Can we see a deeper pullback now? Or can we actually see further continuation to the upside? So now, the first thing I really want to drive to you before I get into, well, the depth of this analysis is, well, there's a lesson in this region right here, the 16-cent region right here. I told you guys that, hey, closes over 16 cents is going to give us that next tip, and that, hey, we can then look for our next target coming in at 0.188, right? However, you saw how this candle right here unfolded. Let me just go ahead and mark it out. This one right here. This candle was completely red, guys. Okay, it was completely red. In fact, anyone who did not have their emotions pat down, they probably got knocked out of their positions, only for the candle to then close over 16 cents. This is to say that when volatility picks up mid-candle, you can get kicked out if you don't have your emotions pat down as well as your position sizing pat down. Anyone who had a big position that they could not handle or their margin could not handle probably also got knocked out on this candle right here. Right, you always gotta make sure that you can withstand the volatility that can kick in before that candle even closes, because notice how this candle closed. It closed over 16 cents, and also for the next few candles to also close over that 16-cent region as well. All right, so we maintained 16 cents as support, and what happened next? Well, after the races all the way up to 18 cents. That move alone, guys, from 16 to 18 netted you a good 16%. All right, So this is to say confirmations are important, but it's on you to make sure that you can withstand the volatility before the confirmation actually comes in. And now as far as our target is concerned, yes, we hit it to the T, 0.188034, and it appears that we're getting rejected on there. So what's next for KASPA? Well, we are going to fall back on over to our objective indicators, and our number one objective indicator was what? The mango dashboard. That's also what told us that, hey, the KASPA bulls could actually pick things up once again. This was when KASPA was actually sitting at around that 16-cent region. Right? So now get on over to the mango dashboard. So let's go ahead and filter out KASPA from this list. You guys can find the dashboard on app.mangoresearch.co. So get onto it. Let's look at KASPA's trend and volatility profile. So we have bullish long trends across the board from the 4-hour time frame to the 4-day time frame. Returns, guys, I mean, you're up on the 4-hour time frame alone. This has stayed bullish. This trend has been bullish for the past 13 days to 2 weeks of a bullish trend. If you manage to catch the reversal on the trend, say you had an email notification set for yourself, as you can see here, I have my alert already set, so I got an email notification as soon as this trend flipped along. Right? If you caught a trade based on this, you're up by a good 69% on that trade. However, the only thing alluding to maybe a pullback opportunity is this volatility profile right now. We're seeing high red numbers right here. Okay, volatility is expanded to these high numbers. Usually when I see that, I look for the next pullback opportunity to come to us, right? But it's not just that I look for. Yes, the volatility can always give us a tip off on the pullbacks, and it's very important because when I see volatility, these high numbers, I then go ahead and look to see if price is currently at resistance. It essentially draws your attention to what's important, and it draws your attention to, well, go and figure out if there's resistance, because now if there's resistance and the volatility is high, you know that, hey, this might actually be a good pullback opportunity. I could look for a better bid on KASPA. So we know that volatility is high right here. We also know that 0.188034 is resistance. It's like a target slash resistance, right? Even your targets at one point, they turn into resistance as soon as price gets up there. Right, so we're seeing a bit of a rejection here, but is this it? Can we actually come down lower, maybe back to 16 cents? Well, we don't want to jump the gun on that, right? So let's first go ahead and figure out where is this trend being established at. And I have figured that the trend is currently being established on the 4-hour mango dynamic indicator. Go ahead and pull up your mango dynamic, and you can see that ever since we actually started rallying from this red box territory right here, which is when I first gave you that trade, right? When we broke out of this beautiful W-like formation, for those of you who don't spot it, it's a bit expanded right here, but this right here was the W-like formation, and we were looking for a breakout. We got the breakout, but ever since that breakout, guys, it's been trending on what? 4-hour dynamic support. Every visit of that dynamic support was met with buying activity. Right, buyers stepped in on every single attempt. Now, once again, you can see that we've lost all of these lows here, right? It put in a series of higher lows, as well as higher highs on this entire range right here. Okay, this is the first time, okay, over all of those candles that we've actually lost that range high and that range low right there. So at this point, I am looking for a move to the downside, and the region of support I'm going to be looking towards actually comes in at that mango dynamic support. So let's actually go ahead and draw in a box for us right there. This is a range, okay? The dynamic support comes in at a range. For those of you who want the numbers on here, so you don't have access to the dynamic indicator, but you want the numbers on this range, it comes in from around 0.1678, going all the way up to 0.1721. I will be annotating the numbers on my screen, but for now, that is the major pullback opportunity that I spot on the chart. That range to the downside, that you know that, hey, you've been invalidated on that trade. When the invalidation kicks in, what I usually do is, okay, I've been invalidated on that trade, okay, prices will come down. I'll look to see if I can get a retest on that range. That way I can get out either at a minimal loss or at break even. All right. In some instances, if you catch a very, very good bid, you can actually get out at a slight profit. Yeah, believe it or not. And that's why it's so key to catch those amazing, amazing bid opportunities, because you know when you're wrong very fast, you get to get out at a minimal loss. And sometimes if the bid is really good, you get to get out at a slight profit too. Okay, so you know that you're wrong, and you can look for a deeper pullback if we start losing that red box territory, aka dynamic support. All right, but for now, this is the next most immediate bid opportunity that I can see. All right, so there you guys have it. Yesterday's recap, yesterday's video, almost the entire thing that I did, but I failed to publish. So what we're going to do now is let's get into the chart. Let's see how that price action fared. Remember, our bid opportunity was what? It was the dynamic support, right? 4-hour dynamic support. Let me go ahead and bring up my screen. There we go, which was also the red box territory. Now, what really gave us the hint on a pullback opportunity? Well, it was the mango dashboard. We noticed that, hey, 0.188 was that critical target that we were looking at. I used my system to come up with these targets. 0.188 was that target. We got up there. It was held as resistance. But in addition to 0.188 being resistance, it was also that the dashboard was telling us that, hey, KASPA has these high, super expanded volatility numbers. Usually when I see that, guys, I'm looking for that pullback opportunity. So now what do I want to see on the volatility? I want to see these volatility numbers sort of compress now. Anything that flashes yellow or blue would tell us that, okay, KASPA is getting into this level of equilibrium. At that point, I'll assess the trends to see, hey, can the bulls take this up even further, or do we see a deeper pullback? Irrespective, I do believe that this is still a bull run. All pullbacks are going to be buy the dip opportunities, in my opinion. It just depends on where's the dip going to come in at. Is it going to be a shallow dip, or is it going to be a deeper dip that you could actually take advantage of? Right? For now, it appears to be a shallow dip, considering that all trends are long. Okay, not just that. If I take you on over to the chart, remember the red box territory. We had identified a signature, a trend signature that KASPA has been following ever since it started its uptrend back down here, right? This was the mini W-like formation, W-like formation that broke out and off to the races. And what was that signature once again? Mango dynamic indicator. For those of you who have the dynamic, we are currently in trending markets. If you are not using the dynamic to help you understand when is the trend beginning, when is it a good time to be jumping into a trade, adding to your position, use the dynamic for all of this. It's going to make things very, very easy. It's almost like a hack. So I use it very aggressively on KASPA right now and Cardano, which is two of my major positions. So as far as the 4 hours concerned, let's get into the 4 hour. This is a 12-hour time frame. Let's get into the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so this is the 4-hour time frame, and you'll notice that ever since KASPA actually started its trend right here, we have been trending on dynamic support, and that's why I was looking at this red box territory, okay, as, okay, this is going to be that good bid opportunity because this is the signature. Right? If KASPA breaks, guys, for whatever reason, we know that, hey, we've been invalidated on that trade. At that point, I will be looking for a lower bid. But it would be so easy for me to manage that trade. I know that, hey, I'm wrong. There's a deeper pullback coming in. I'm getting out of the position that I just put on. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? You're never going to find 100% hit rates in the world of trading. There's always, this is a game of probabilities. So even if the probability goes against you, it's about knowing how to take the loss well. Now, this is the bid, okay? Now, you can see that KASPA got down here and bounced right off of it. However, is this the perfect recipe for continuation? You know, can we actually expect the next rally to come to us relatively soon? No. I think for me, the next rally, guys, I'm keeping this relatively simple. Okay, the next rally I'll be looking for only when KASPA takes out 0.188034, which was our target to the upside. Right, once we start doing that, only then will I look for continuation to the upside. So far, this price action that we're seeing in the past 3-4 hour candles, there's still, I mean, it's still holding dynamic support, so there's something that needs to be said about that. But at the very least, I want to start seeing, at least today, okay, here's what I'm going to be looking for the bulls to, well, sort of take over control once again. I want to see the KASPA bulls take out this wick high right here on the 4 hour time frame, which comes in at around 0.18222. Okay, if we can start living over that, I'm saying the bulls are back in control, right? There's a better chance that we get back up to 0.188 to give that an official test once again. And depending if they win, there's a good chance that we make our way to the upside once again. But for now, it appears that this has put in a lower high, an interim lower high, but a lower high nonetheless. It's only when KASPA starts breaking the dynamic support to the downside will I be looking for another push to the downside. Okay, at that point, the level that I'm looking at is 0.16 for a stop. But yeah, watch out for how price reacts after the 4 hour dynamic, because that has been the most prevalent signature right now, bullish signature throughout KASPA's uptrend. Okay, ever since we sort of ripped out right here back when it was at 10 cents. All right. Now let's consider the instance, because if I have to really assess this entire picture, who's in control? Majority? Like if I just all biases aside, the bulls are still in control. This is still very much in an uptrend, right? So if the bulls actually manage to pick it up on the 4 hour dynamic support once again, and we actually end up breaking 0.188034, the next momentum-based target that I see on KASPA's chart, let's get a drum roll, please, only comes in right here. That's right, 0.2379996 to the decimal again, okay? Now, of course, sometimes these decimals would work out, sometimes they wouldn't work out. But yeah, it's fun for me to see if they can actually, if it can, I can get the bullseye on it. It's always fun. But you can say relatively in that juncture is going to be the next momentum-based target. The move from 0.188 to 0.237, that's going to be a good, 26% to the upside. Right, so that is that's the first target to be looking out for. There is an interim target that I want to bring to your attention. Of course, I had mentioned this even in the last video, but the other interim target that I was looking at on Kaspa's chart was this bull flag target. Okay, let me just go ahead. This was it. That's the flag. That right there is the pole. If I go ahead and take the measured move, plot it on the break, where will this take Kaspa up to, which comes in at around 0.211. Okay, so we could see a pit stop there before getting up to 2379. Of course, guys, this is all us jumping the gun here. What is important to understand is that we have not broken our 0.188 resistance level just yet. So we need to do that in order for us to then look towards further targets to the upside. For now, eyes on, if I have to really just circle out two important zones for you, support at 4-hour dynamic, as well as 0.188. That is the current range of oscillation that Kaspa's in. Depending on who wins, if we break resistance, bulls win. If we break support, the bears win. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. And also speaking of bull flags, guys, I just want to give you guys a quick sort of heads up. Module 7 drops very, very soon. This one is on pattern trading. I will be talking about continuation patterns as well as reversal patterns that you guys can watch out for on various assets that you're trading. For those of you interested in the Sprouts program, get into the mango.markets/sprouts. First off, look at what the Sproutlings have to say, okay? Also, you can talk to them on the Discord chat. Get into the Discord chat if you're looking to up your game this bull run. If you don't want me to guide you on every trade setup and you just want to be able to make these decisions on your own, see the bigger picture all on your own, irrespective of what asset you're trading, doesn't just have to be Kaspa. This is the time to hunker down and learn, okay? So if you want to start with that journey, check out the Sprouts program if you haven't already done so. But yeah, Module 7 drops soon, so stay tuned for that. Until then, guys, do the mango way, do the easy way, do the stress-free way. I'll see you now in the next analysis. Ciao.